He'd be running instead of her. She got no votes. He got 14 million votes. What you did, you talk about a threat to democracy. He got 14 million votes, and they threw him out of office. And you know what? I'll give you a little secret. He hates her. He can't stand her. But he got 14 million votes. They threw him out. She got 0 votes.
There he goes.
What is up, guys? Tyson Dela Cruz here. Thank you so much for rocking with me. The View hosted the first standing president on their programming, barely standing president, by the way. Shout out to The View and Whoopi for doing such great work. You're doing amazing big things. Anyways, it is getting some major backlash on the intro webs, and I think honestly it's getting some major backlash from the Harrison Walz campaign, because I don't know who thought it was a good idea to have Joe Biden on an interview. It just doesn't make any sense. It doesn't make any sense. Shout out to everybody watching. Drop your comments down below. This is what Fox News had to say about Joe Biden appearing on The View.
I never thought that Joe Biden would make a political contribution to the Trump campaign, but he did so today. Because I don't think there's any way the Harris people thought that this was going to be a good idea. He says, as vice president, there wasn't a single thing that I did that she couldn't do. And I was able to delegate her responsibility on everything from foreign policy to domestic policy.
Everything.
Why wouldn't you just cut that soundbite and run it in all the battleground states and, figure out a way to sabotage her?
And as vice president, there wasn't a single thing that I did that she couldn't do. Mm-hmm. And so I was able to delegate her responsibility on everything from foreign policy to domestic policy.
But we are not going back.
It's pretty damning. I'm sure the Harrison Walz campaign are not happy about Joe Biden saying this. Biden was asked if Pelosi forced him out of the presidential race for months, years even. They were saying that Joe's cognitive ability was good. Both Kamala Harris openly said that Joe Biden's cognitive ability was good, and so did everybody else.
Did you feel that your hand was forced, and what is your relationship with Speaker Pelosi now?
Our relationship is fine. Look, I never fully believed the assertions that somehow there was this overwhelming reluctance of my running again. I didn't sense that. Mm-hmm. And although the polling, as I said, Biden's polling was different, the fact of the matter is my polling was about, we're always within range of beating this guy.
Yeah.
And, but what I did was, I think there were, it makes sense. There were some folks who would like to see me step aside so they have a chance to move on. I get that. That's just human nature. But that wasn't the reason that I stepped down. I stepped down because I started thinking about it. It's hard to think of, I know you're only 30, but it's hard to think of, it's hard for me to even say how old I am.
If you actually think about it, if he was beating in the polls and he thought that he could beat Donald Trump, why is he not in the race? Probably because of the horrific debate disaster that occurred with him and Donald Trump.
And I'm going to continue to move until we get the total ban on the total initiative relative to what we're going to do with more Border Patrol and more asylum officers.
President Trump?
I really don't know what he said at the end of that sentence. I don't think he knows what he said either. Look.
We're having so much success in getting things done that people thought we couldn't get done.
Right.
I found myself having used more time than I would have ordinarily to, pass that torch. But working with Kamala, she is bright, she is tough, she's honorable. And the thing I like about her, and one thing we share in common, is that we have an optimistic view of the future here. Yeah.
Meanwhile, we all know that regardless on what Nancy Pelosi says, they pushed Biden out.
I love him so much. I think he's been really a fantastic president of the United States. So I really wanted him to make a decision of a better campaign, because they were not facing the fact of what was happening. Just a little background. I've never been that impressed with his political operation.
Biden's operation.
Yeah, I'm not. I mean, I just happened to. They won the White House. Bravo, right? But so my concern was this ain't happening. And we have to make a decision for this to happen. And the president has to make the decision for that to happen. Let me just say, I won't say necessarily I knew what I was doing at that time. I knew what I was doing in the whole thing, not just that ship.
And what was that?
That Donald Trump would never set foot in the White House again.
Yeah.
I was confident I would beat Trump.
Listen, I
He's a
didn't like
loser.
the way they did it. I'm going to just say it out loud because nobody says it out loud. I didn't like the way it was done publicly. I thought they could have done this in a different way because we didn't need to hear all the inner fighting. I didn't like it. I'm saying it to you. You were my ride or die. I was going wherever you were going, that's what I was doing. So I just wanted to say that because I always felt you were going to probably do 4 years and then try to figure out where to go with Kamala.
You know, it's interesting because I do feel that Joe Biden was pushed out of the race, and we all see that. We all clearly know that. And this man is a career politician. And to have him pushed out the way that he was pushed out, not on his terms, you could see the disgruntledness on his face, on live TV, on The View. Just plain facts. Sad, funny, all the things, right? So, Joe Biden, where's your official endorsement for Donald Trump for president for 2024? Let me see it. Aside from the hat, let's get an official endorsement. JB, let's get it. Shout out to everybody watching. Drop your comments down below. Smash the like button, share, subscribe. And as always, I'll catch you on the next one.